Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Zinc coffins found in landfill in Belgorod, just like ones used for transporting dead invaders in the Russian city of Belgorod. Locals have found zinc coffins in a landfill. The bodies of Russian invaders who died in the war in Ukraine are delivered in such coffins. Quote from Baza. Residents of Belgorod complained to the police about rescuers who had thrown zinc coffins in an ordinary landfill. In such coffins, soldiers who died in the special military operation, as the Russian Federation calls the war in Ukraine, ED, are delivered. Details. According to Baza, several coffins, already along with icons and packages, an old Slavic custom, which foresees that icons and small burial kits are put into coffins before funerals, were thrown away near garages on Privanaya Street. The coffins were noticed by local residents when they brought rubbish to the landfill. Later, it turned out that such an installation was arranged by a local funeral company. The bodies of the invaders who died in Ukraine are delivered in zinc coffins, and then their relatives buy others, wooden ones, for funerals. Background. As of the 30th of October, the total combat losses of Russians in Ukraine amount to about 71,200 soldiers and thousands of units of military equipment. MFA considers Lavrov's statement about talks regarding Ukraine as another smokescreen. Russia's only realistic proposal should be the immediate cessation of the war against Ukraine and the withdrawal of Russian troops from the territory of Ukraine. The relevant statement was made by spokesperson for the Ukrainian Foreign Affairs Ministry Oleg Nikolenko on Facebook, commenting on Sergei Lavrov's declaration that Russia is ready to discuss realistic proposals regarding Ukraine with the West, and Ukrinform correspondent reports. The only realistic proposal should be Russia's immediate cessation of the war against Ukraine and the withdrawal of Russian troops from the territory of Ukraine beyond the borders of 1991, Nikolenko wrote. According to the Ukrainian Foreign Affairs Ministry, someone who really wants to start talks does not destroy the country's energy system to make its population freeze in winter, does not engage in mass killings of civilians, does not shell residential areas, does not announce the mobilization of additional 300,000 troops, does not block grain exports, and does not issue ultimatums. Lavrov's statement about readiness for talks is nothing but another smokescreen to buy time against the backdrop of the defeats of the Russian army. As long as Russia continues to commit crimes in Ukraine, there must be the only answer on the battlefield, Nikolenko stressed. In his words, the Ukrainian side is grateful to international partners who stand side by side with Ukraine in its struggle for existence. Only with joint determined efforts, it is possible to stop Russia, which poses a threat to the peace and security not only of Europe but also of the world, Nikolenko added. A reminder that, according to the mass media, the Kremlin considers talks with the West regarding Ukraine. On October 30, 2022, Lavrov noted Russia would agree to hold talks in case of realistic proposals. Updated. Registers in war. Striking a balance between transparency and security. The availability of registries significantly streamlines processes in the peacetime. However, in times of war, there is a high probability that the aggressor will use the information of the registers in an adverse way, creating threats to the security of the state, businesses, and citizens. Therefore, the state authorities decided to limit access to some state registries. In this article we investigated to which key registries the government restricted or discontinued access due to Russia's full-scale invasion and which operate even during the martial law to ensure transparency and open data. As of 2021, Ukraine was the first among European countries in open data development, ranking 6th in the 2021 Open Data Maturity Report. However, on the night of January 14, 2022, over 70 government websites were targeted with Whispergate in one of the most massive cyber attacks ever. The main purpose of the attack was to reduce trust in public personal data protection systems and damage databases. Therefore, There was no doubt about Russia's involvement, which was confirmed by the joint investigation of the Ministry of Digital Transformation, State Security Service, SBU, and Cyberpolice. According to the SBU, there was no information leak or loss of personal data. Yet, at the same time, this incident revealed vulnerable spots of critical information infrastructure, resulting in the temporary suspension of many other government websites to prevent the attack from spreading to other resources to contain the technical issue. After Ukraine considered the system's weaknesses and quickly restored the platforms, it faced a similar situation 1 week before and after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion. On February 24, 2022, SENAIS temporarily suspended the operation of the Unified and State Registers administered by Ukraine's Justice Ministry. This temporarily, the word has been added, made it impossible to carry out real estate transactions, create and register legal entities, sole proprietorships, and public associations, perform notarial acts, conduct public procurement, and check information about public procurement participants, etc. On February 28, the Cabinet of Ministers streamlined procurement operations by changing the procedure to allow concluding direct contracts under martial law, bypassing the Prozoro auctions. At the initiative of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Prozoro, prompt publication of the results of purchases made under tripartite contracts, with regional military administrations as the customers and Ukrzaliznytsia as the payer of budget funds, was resumed on April 13. In June, the government reinstated mandatory purchases in the Prozoro system. The paragraph has been added, Some registers continue to operate without restricting users but only in the areas with no active hostilities within individual administrative territorial units. These are the Unified Registry of Powers of Attorney, fully accessible since February 24, the Unified Registry of Special Forms of Notarial Documents, the so-called Registry of Forms, fully accessible since February 24, the Unified State Registry of Regulatory Acts, the State Registry of Civil Status Acts, currently accessible by civil registration offices, the State Registry of Encumbrances on Movable Property, accessible since March 23, the Unified Registry of Debtors, accessible since May, the Unified State Registry of Court Decisions, and the Unified State Registry of Persons who committed corruption or corruption-related offenses. Ukrainian authorities began to quickly look for a way out of the situation because shutting down key registers suspended all activities related to registering information about individuals, legal entities, property, and documents created and maintained by the state. The solution aimed to find a balance between protecting data from possible use by the enemy to harm the interests of Ukrainians and the need to register the most urgent acts within the country. The sentence has been updated, ed. Next, let us analyze what happened in various areas of open data. According to the State Service of Special Communications and Information Protection Data, 70 state websites were attacked, and 10 were affected by incidents of unauthorized access, with no changes in the website's content or personal data leaks. On January 14, the Minister for Digital Transformation confirmed the restoration of most websites, stressing that no registers were affected by the attack. The sentence has been added, ed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.